Hi guys, it's Christy. We are looking at the month of August. Can you believe it's already August and we're starting a new school year soon? If you're a teacher, God bless you. We're praying for you and your year this year. Thank you for spending extra time with kids to help them grow in knowledge and through your example of believing and loving Jesus, that they are getting loved on as well. If you are not and you're preparing your kids for school, we're praying for you guys as well, that this will be a year to remember for everybody in a positive way, that they are growing in wisdom and stature and learning to trust God in new ways every day, you as a family and also the kids in your house. The month of August, we're going to be looking at this attitude called respect. And I say attitude because that was something that was very, and still very much is, very, very important to my mom. Respect was something that we were expected to respond in most situations with. And while I honor that and appreciate that she gave me and my siblings. I think it's given us a great outlook on life as well, and those that we respect and those we should continue to respect just because of their position. Now, I also know that kids, as well as my kids in my house, they don't always have an understanding of that, like was influenced in me growing up. And so I challenge you this month as you consider what respect looks like. Is that an attitude that you expect from people? Is that a behavior that you expect from people? Is that certain words that you'd like to hear, like yes ma'am or no ma'am or yes sir or no sir? What are the ways that define respect for you? And then what are the ways that you would like to receive respect? I think as we all try to figure out what that means in our lives, we'll have a better understanding of how to teach that to kids this month. I think it's a great way to start the school year, talking to them about. I love the example that they use this month in our curriculum of the marching band. I don't know if you know this about me, but I grew up in the marching band. I have enjoyed being a band mom with my son Nick as he's grown up in the marching band and is pursuing a career in that in the future. It was such a big part of my life, and what we all learned from that is a mutual respect for each other, because I couldn't do my part if somebody else wasn't doing their part. And that's true in the marching, that's true in the music, that's true in how we dressed. In fact, my son had a really great analogy recently. He said, being a pastor's kid is like being in uniform all the time. When I'm in band, I take the uniform off and I'm not necessarily just in the band anymore. I'm Nick. But so I think that's a great analogy to help kids understand. When you're in uniform, you are a picture of what is being created, and that has to have respect as a part of it. So in our Bible stories this month, we will be looking at a few different things, kind of jumping all over the Bible this month. We'll start in the book of Matthew the first week, looking at Matthew chapter 8, verses 5 through 13. And in this, there is a Roman commander who is in charge of his army and in charge of lots of people. But one of his soldiers gets sick, and he realizes he does not have the power to help that man get well. And so he took him to Jesus. And Jesus, because of the faith of that commander, to believe that through God's character that that man could be well, he healed the man. And what we want kids to see this entire month, that you can have respect, you can show respect because of God's character. when God's character comes through over and over and over again, and his character is always consistent, that we can respond to God's character. Maybe we can't always respond to the person who is not respectful, or someone we want to respect because of their behavior or what they do to us. But we can respond in respect because of God's character. So, going to be a fun month. I'm really excited. Then week 2, jump over into the book of James. And there we'll discover that the people in the early church struggled with how to respect people who were different from them. Okay, people, do you think that was only an early church problem? I know it's not. I know that I fall into that real regularly. I know the people in my house fall into that real regularly. It is very easy at times to see people's differences instead of seeing ways that we can love them in Jesus' name. And so this story will help remind us that it doesn't matter what we look like on the outside. It's what's on the inside that shapes our respect for others. So maybe even the person that we are needing to respect is not a respectable person, but we can respect them because of God's character building in us. We're going to teach this over and over and over again. Because we are growing in God, because we believe in Jesus, and we desire to be a disciple, we are going to continue to grow in our respect for other people. Maybe we don't like that. Maybe we have to choose that attitude every day. But this story in James will help us all remember that this week. That when you respect God when you respect the people that God made. And that's everybody. You can't exclude anybody in that. Even the worst criminal, you can't exclude them. And we do that in hopes that one day that person would see Jesus as well. Then we'll jump back into the book of Ephesians, where Paul writes about God's clear instruction to honor our parents. Now, this week will be Promotion Sunday week, and so it's a good time for us to engage with parents, to partner with parents this week, and to tell them, hey guys, we spent the entire day helping your kids understand that they need to respect you. And so that'll be a fun day to celebrate together and to encourage kids that as they start the school year, and it's hectic for everybody, especially for moms and dads, that we can show a level of respect as we go about our school day. And so we will be looking at the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verses 1 through 3, where Paul is writing and telling us that we must honor our mother and father. And then also remind the kids that Moses had written about that forever ago, back in Deuteronomy, when they were entering the promised land. Then we'll finish up the month in the book of 1 Samuel, so go all the way back to the Old Testament, where we find David running away from King Saul. And when David had a clean shot at taking out Saul, he decided to respect the position God gave King Saul. David took the high road and let God take care of the situation between them. In other words, David decided to take it out of his hands and put it back into God's hands. God, I'm going to respect that this man is in this position for this time, for this reason. I need you to take care of me, is essentially what David did in that situation. And so we want kids to understand that you respect God when you respect the people he's put in charge. After the kids have been in school for a week or so, that may be a really good conversation to have with a small group about were there people in your path this week that was really hard to respect? And what are ways that we can show respect to them even though we don't want to, but because of their position, they have earned that position of respect from us as well. I hope you guys are as excited as I am to start fall. You will notice a few differences in your curriculum this month, and I just kind of want to lay that out for you really quick. Our curriculum company has changed some of the ways that they're communicating things to us now. I really like the changes. I really think that it's going to work really great in your small groups. I've heard you guys saying that you wanted more of this for quite a while anyway, and so yay, we have it. It's there in front of us, and so we'll be using it. Especially, you'll notice the biggest differences with your 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. They are trying to encourage us as small groups to start a discussion, start a conversation with kids. And so a lot of times what you will see is taken out the what you should say. That whole section will be taken out for the rest until the curriculum company makes a change again. You're going to see that taken out because they want for you to be more of a discussion guide as opposed to a teacher. And I think all of you guys can do this. I think you've been asking for this for a while. So we'll keep helping you develop that in your small group. I think you're going to find that the activities you do have help bridge the gap for you to have those discussions in a different way. You'll see all the same kind of format. We'll start with an opening activity, which is an icebreaker activity. We'll do large group. Then you'll have an application activity, a Bible memory verse activity that's the same for the whole month, and a pray and dismiss activity. As always, if you don't get to all of the activities, that's okay with us. We want you to concentrate on that application activity because we want each kid to walk away with knowing the Bible story for the day in a way that they can apply it to their life. And then the other activities are there to help you build that small group experience for kids, for you to help create fun over time and also to engage the kids in Scripture. Your all grades from here on out, we're going to help the kids get into the Bible more and learn how to manipulate the Bible and find things in the Bible. And so you'll see that in all the Bible memory verse activities as well. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to get with me anytime or your campus leader. We're all discussing this pretty regularly, trying to figure out how to help equip you guys better. Thank you for leading with us and welcome to fall. Let's go.